Welcome back to the show. Oh, wait. Hold on. Where's everybody at? Hey, I got this. Nerds! Assemble! Yeah!
Yeah.
Welcome back. This is episode 10.
Yeah.
Coming in with a bang.
10.
Hopefully everybody got some kind of power-ups.
10.
I kind of feel bad now that I did that, and I'm wearing a Batman shirt.
Hey, you know what? It's all good.
I didn't think
He'll
that
be
one
like
through.
the Justice League did a symbol at one point.
All right. So we got another special guest for the show.
Yeah.
I know we
Also, guys, I apologize last week. I wasn't here.
it's all right.
Hey, it's all
I know,
good.
it's all right. I mean, if you would have watched the show
So
from last week, you would have
that's
saw
why
that
I'm not
we told everybody why you were here. Yeah, don't be trying to run away. Anyway.
what about your adult?
You're here now. That's all that matters. Episode 10. We got Joey from damn it. What is he named the name of his comic again? Trouble's Back?
Yes, sir.
Didn't he have a I guess it's just Trouble's Back. I didn't know if he had a name brand like
Well, I know on the side
you
of
know him more.
Joey Patron. I know him from way back in the day when he was kids. His last name is Pineda.
Okay.
But,
I'm gonna let you introduce him whenever. Go ahead. You know him the longest.
So this guy right here has been.
I know you ain't just chewing ice all in the mic.
Hey man, he
Yeah.
get his ice, get his water. No,
All right, go ahead.
This guy here, it's definitely been a journey for him. He's been doing it for a while. Good guy. I've known him from back in the day. We played basketball at the boys club together. Like that's how long I've known this dude. So without further ado, Mr. Joey Pineda, if we can get him on the deal here. Mr. Author of Trouble's Back, and I have my physical copy. Yeah.
All right, I'm joining him in round now.
Yeah, there
Joey!
he is. Yeah. Mr. Joey Pineda.
Hey, what's going on, man?
What's going on, man? Welcome to the show.
Yeah.
Sorry that was so long of a wait. I had to wait on these guys over
My
here.
anxiety was acting up.
Life, man. The whole adulting thing, man. We were just talking about that.
It's all good. All good.
Man, so how you feeling, man? How you hanging?
I'm good. I'm just my Fridays are now my days when I create. So, I spent the whole day just recording some music today.
Hey, there ain't nothing wrong with that. And let me start off by saying, like, that whole wall back there is dope. Let that be known. That wall is dope.
Yeah, I was telling you about that man cave. Well, this is my man cave here. You can't see all of it, but I got my studio over here and comics behind me and more.
Yeah.
It's a dream back here, man.
There it is. I like it.
I just want to take a tour.
Right.
Well, it's kind of hard to see. I got a light right here, but
I know you're fine. Oh man, that's dope. You got the comic book set up. I see it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Man, how many comics do you got?
I probably got maybe about I consolidated, so I probably got maybe about 1,600 right now.
Whoa.
Wow.
He said he consolidated.
That is dope.
And he has 1,600.
Right.
Let that settle. Let that sink in. No,
I buy so much, I got to give some back to the shop sometimes. So.
I hear you. So man, I was telling them that we go way back like 4 flats on Cadillac, man. Cause like Boys Club. I was telling them about that mean jump shot you used to have, man.
Yeah. I had a poor left hand, but I had a good jump shot,
Yeah, man. He had a good jump shot. He had a nice jump shot.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
So
Go ahead.
So with your Troubles Back, what was your inspiration? I read when the comic, was that your story at the beginning?
Yeah, that was my story.
Okay.
mostly anything I create, you know, it has to be a part of me. So I got to include my personal details. Otherwise, that's the only thing that's gonna, you know, give it that authenticity, you know. And it's just everything I do is me. So it's just like the comic book should be no different. So I just, you
Right.
know, plus the one thing that I've heard from people, it's like they can connect more with me, you know, and it makes the story a lot more impactful on everybody. So I mean, it's just yeah, I have to have those details in there. Otherwise, it's
Right.
just one of those things. It's just a story, you know.
Yeah. So when I was reading through it, like that first part, like I kind of I felt like that was like your story. Like it was that was a real picture of your mom and dad, right? Yeah,
Yes,
I
sir.
noticed
Yes,
that.
sir. It was.
That was dope.
Yeah, I was able to give that to my artist. He was able to pretty much make that, you know. So I was like, hell
Right.
yeah, you know, dope, you know.
Yeah. So I wanted to say that I think it was hilarious that how you put mumble rap into this. Like that
I
was
had
hilarious. That is dope. Like because that is the truth. I
yeah.
really feel like that is what's going on right now. Because
It's been
that's all
going
they
on for
do
a
now.
couple of years. It's been going
Yeah.
on for a couple of years, and it's just there's more of them now, you know.
Right. It's like everybody. That's like
Yeah.
I'm like God. Like I don't even turn it on no more. I don't even freaking listen to radio no more because they
Yeah.
play it over and over again.
Yep. Yes, sir. Yes,
So
sir.
what made you think about adding? Because this is a different type of comic. Like I've yet to see a comic where they mix in the music, like a music comic. You know, with
Right. Yeah.
kind of like a Batman vibe, I guess.
Yeah.
But I did see that you had like some type of power in there too, like a when it was in the second uh, episode where the Hive he threw the card and a lightning bolt came down like Shazam.
Well, see that was more of the villain there.
Right.
That was more of I don't want to get too far off from reality,
Hmm.
but magic in general is part of reality, and that's kind of, you know, whether we're talking, you know, like some type of black magic or some kind of like I don't know, it's just it's magic basically.
Right.
What lightning bolt thing, you know, this guy's able to appear whenever he wants to appear
Right.
and
That's
everything.
where like you had the voodoo drink,
Yeah,
the you had the mask. That was a certain type of magical mask, and the earrings. The I saw
yeah,
the crystal ball. Like you had a lot of different ones right there on the table. I thought that was dope.
yeah. And that's
Uh,
actually, you know, that aspect of it is actually where, you know, we brought in because that character, you know, has been exposed to and knows about voodoo magic, you know. So
right.
everything that's related to the characters, it's it's truly it's true with the characters, you know. That's how I'm able to keep the story going and just keeping it, you know, how can I put it? Just keeping it original, man. And
Right.
I mean, nothing really is fabricated upon. Just really, just there's a little bit of elaboration to make the story even more appealing, you know. But to be honest, there's not really that much more elaboration. It's just really just it just happens, you know.
Right.
The inspiration is just from life in general, man, and it's just and the guys that are involved in the book, like the characters, those are my friends. You know, they're my
Yeah,
friends,
that was
and
my next question. I was gonna ask
yeah.
if so are some of the villains your friends, or are those some of the people that you kind of
So
ran into
so the only
throughout
one
life?
that's not an actual person is the mumbler. You know, the mumbler really embodies an idea, you know, and it's more of it's a lot of people combined into one basically.
Right.
You know, I've seen, having done music, I've done music for over a decade now, you know, and I've seen a lot of things. So I just combined all those, I guess, in a sense, bad guys, combine them all together and create the mumbler, you know?
Right. I know that. I think I got like a little Joker vibe from him at first, like a joke with the green hair, but then he changed it to
Yeah.
purple. So I noticed that you were changing the colors.
See, that's a lot of people haven't really caught on that, but basically, his, based on his attire, his color changes.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because with rappers, they want to be color coordinated.
Right.
They want the whole shebang. You know, so I was like, you know what?
So he just
What
dyes
if?
his hair different.
Actually, you know, it's actually a side effect from
Oh,
becoming a mumbler. You know,
right.
so anytime he puts on different kind of clothes,
It's like
you
a
know,
chameleon.
he's gonna change. You know, he's gonna
Right.
change. And it's almost like a snake too. They shed skin every
Right.
time they put new clothes on. You know,
Right.
and the color is just a side effect. You know.
Yeah, I thought when I first read that part where you're talking about they made a lab with the star too, and how
Yeah.
it makes you. I was laughing myself.
Yeah.
I was like, "That's hilarious."
Well, you got to think about it with mumble rap. It's one of those things that man, you can get a lot of people hooked on that kind of music, especially people that just really
Man,
don't understand really what they're listening to, but somehow they're gravitated towards it. So I'm just like, you know, let this drug, you know, come create the mumble rap. So when actually they speak, they're mumbling, but it's gravitating. It's kind of like putting people in a trance,
right.
you know, because this music does do that, you know, and man, that's that's
What
where all
gets me,
the
That
what
embodiment.
gets me about the is the reason I'll sit and listen to it sometimes, and
yep,
the only reason I'm listening to it is like I'm stupefied by it. I'm
yeah,
like sitting there
yeah,
like then next thing I know I'm like, what the hell am I listening to? Just try to change it.
yeah, yeah.
So
You know,
yeah, that
I find
a lot
myself.
of times I listen to it because the production behind it is so good, you know, and the beat gravitates me sometimes, you know. But then I catch myself, and it's like it's so catchy that
Yep,
I start to mumble a little bit, and I'm like, no, I can't do that. That's not me, you know.
exactly. That's
So
what I'm thinking to say, man. That a lot of time it's the beat. Like
me
the
right
producer is just like, ah, there it is right there,
there you go.
silent.
yeah,
And a lot of times it's the producer, man. They get somebody that is a fire producer and they'll get this beat
yep,
and you catch yourself listening, but it's because you're listening to the beat and you're like bobbing your head like, man, this is but then you realize I can't understand nothing this dude is saying. What is he
yep,
even
or
talking about?
even
It
Right.
don't even
or
matter
even
what he's
the
talking about,
melody.
but the music is like,
Yeah,
yeah,
because
that's where they
sometimes the
get you.
melody and the way that they're rapping, it could be da
yep,
da 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 da
Right.
da 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 da, and
Yeah,
then
the
they could
exactly,
beat.
mumble,
See,
but because the
that's the
melody and the
thing.
beat makes it go hard, because the melody could be da da
yeah,
da 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 da, but they
Right.
can say nothing, but
Yeah,
because that melody and that beat together, it
Hmm.
just
it
it
just you
they
find yourself
they
sucked
can say
into
whatever
it.
they want to say.
And see,
The
that's
product
what
is perfect.
they
That's
doing. They finding a good beat that is the beat
yeah,
is dope, and then they're
that's all
just
they
like
need.
doing whatever.
They don't have to be able to rap, just as long as they can say something over a
You
dope
could
beat.
say the same. You could just go in there and say yeah the whole way through and
Yep.
be good.
I
Just,
mean, well, think about it like this: you could say whatever you want, slap some auto tune to it, and you're mumbling already. You
oh
know,
yeah,
it's
There you
just
oh
go.
yeah.
Yeah,
There you
you
go.
know, I mean, you
There
know,
you go.
So you did mention something a while ago that kind of answered the question for me. You saying you didn't want to get too far from reality,
yep,
and because I was before we jumped in, I was kind of running through with the comic with them, and uh, I was kind of wondering about the fight part, like in the first one, like when he
mm-hmm.
jumps in and he's got his mic, and he started a battle. I thought it was gonna be like a like a rap battle, and I
Yeah,
thought I was expecting like at first before I scrolled down, like I was expecting, oh, this is gonna be dope. Like I thought he was gonna be like as he was rapping, like I was expecting like these kind of like Green Lantern type of things, like fighting
yeah,
with their words and stuff. I thought it was gonna be a
yeah,
back and forth, but then he kicked it and then he actually physically beat his ass.
yeah.
So
I mean, basically, what I tried to do there was, I didn't want to go full on music,
uh,
on it, but
oh,
I did.
there's a there's an audio mess up.
I mean, Can you hear me now?
Yeah, it's sound. There's some kind of
buzzing sound.
audio.
Yeah.
Yeah, like a buzzing sound.
Yeah. You might be getting a little bit of feedback coming.
I'm not using headphones on. Take those off just in case it's causing it.
Yeah, I don't know what that is.
Yeah, there was. I think there was a little feedback.
Yeah, it was like a high buzzing, like a.
I could hear it.
Hmm.
Is it better now?
Oh yeah, that's great.
Way better.
Okay.
That's way better. Yeah.
It must have been the Bluetooth somehow acting up. You
Well,
know.
your audio jumped up like 10 times just now. Like that's
Yeah.
great.
Okay. So that works, and at least I know. You know, I figured I'd be able to hear you guys a little better, but I mean, it's quiet right now. I can hear you guys, so it's
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
No, that's great. You
But
sound
yeah,
better than Mingo.
yeah.
So speaking about the back to reality, I wanted
Yeah.
to know something as well. I wanted to know if are you gonna use like more symmetry between like how you use the drugs to make how that created mumble rap? Are you gonna use more things like that? Like let's say depression might create a different form of singing or rapping or whatever that trouble has to go fight or stop because the purpose of it, if I'm correct, I mean correct me if I'm wrong, is that people are bringing trash and horribleness into the music game. So and you know, and that in real life, people do that. People will take
Yeah.
whatever they can take and bring it into the music, or they'll take, you know, kids songs, or they'll take whatever happened in their life, or they'll steal someone else's songs or whatever, and kind of. So are you going to use more things of like that to kind of be, oh, this person is using toxic waste, or this person is using bombs, or this to
Well,
kind of
wait a minute.
create that thing?
What you mean about the kids songs? And Walk It in My Pocket was pretty dope. I'm saying. Talk about catchy. No, but anyway, my bad. I just wanted to throw that in.
I mean,
But I kind of want to know.
I mean, for that. So issue 1 is dedicated to mumble rap and the mumbler. So really, when that kind of ended, that's for right now as it stands. I'm not gonna build on mumble rap and the mumbler. You know, the beauty about what happened with issue 1 is I was experimenting and I was thinking, I was like, okay, issue 1 is going to be a self-contained story, even though it would continue. But
It's
one
just
thing
like
I noticed is I should have never done that. I should have actually just left a cliffhanger and just really let it be known that it was going to continue, you know, because I was thinking to myself, okay, when I get it in the hands of the readers, they would be satisfied and not feel like they got, because I didn't know how long the issue 2 was going to take. So I was like, you know, I wanted them satisfied with just reading issue 1, and whenever issue 2 comes out, it comes out, you know, because a lot of times, I don't know about you guys, but when I read a comic, I'm like, oh man, I want to know what happens next, you know.
Okay.
Well, I was trying to prevent that to happen with my first issue, and
But you
now that
did
I'm
do it
going,
in the second.
yeah, in the second one, I changed
That
it
one
up.
was dope.
Yeah, it was better, right? It's better
Yeah,
to leave it
I
hanging.
like that because I was about to bring that up. Like I like the guy sitting in the chair at the end. I was like, oh,
Yeah,
if
so
they
and
what
you know,
was it?
it's all learning for me, you know. I mean, I don't, you know,
Yeah.
I
Well,
don't
yeah,
completely know what I'm doing, you know, and I you got to see what works and what doesn't, you know.
right. Yeah, that was just your first comment.
Yeah,
You're on your third now, so like
yeah,
I mean, just like with us on the show, like we're just starting and like every episode we're learning and getting better. Like I
yeah,
mean, that's just how life goes. Like you started, you got to start somewhere and go
yeah.
with it.
I mean, the way
So
I see it, everything is better than the last, or
right,
that's just, you know, I approach my music that way. I approach my comics that way. I approach anything I do that way, you know, and
mm-hmm.
that's my self gauge on how I'm doing. You know, if I ever backtrack, there's a big problem, and I got to fix that immediately. You know, but as long as I'm doing better than I was, I'm good.
Right.
Bro, you're doing pretty good because
Yeah,
like I
you
mean
got a
you look back
comic
at like
that like who
yeah
else can say they put a comic together? Like I don't have one.
Exactly. Like,
I
Like
mean you look back at like the Supermans and how they started and the Iron Mans and all that, they all had their first issue, second issue, and even some of the
yeah,
new ones out that come out now still don't have some of the great quality as what you put out. So that's
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
yeah.
But
It's just
one thing I've learned is no matter what you do in life, you know, it's quality has always got to be there. You know, it's always a marathon, not a race. You know, and that's one thing that a lot of people forget. You know, they want results right away, so they want to just crank things out. And I'm like, dude, I'd rather have that quality there because I'll have an everlasting impact rather than just knocking crap out left and right. You know.
Yeah, we live in that kind of society now.
Yeah.
Everything right now. I want it right now, now.
Yep.
Well, if you ever want to put some media heroes in your story that that like tell the story of what or have Trouble could have a team, some nerdy guys that's on the show, that you can. I'm just if you ever want to do that,
Yeah.
Yeah, you can
just
have
a
his
little
character as
know.
a. You can have his character as a.
There you go. There you
See,
go.
man, I knew this was
I
coming.
was gonna say you made the
Don't say
freaking
that. I
leprechaun.
already knew.
That's
But
a
No.
leprechaun hero.
speaking of characters, here's the beauty about the way I do my book. I just really, honestly, like everything has happened organically. The characters, everything, and a lot of times it's a matter of just having a conversation, and light bulb pops up, and I'm like, "Yo, I have this idea. You want to do this? Are you down?" And most everybody's they want to be part of something, and it's like they're gonna
Yeah.
say yes. Like,
Yep,
did y'all get to read issue 2?
I did.
Yeah.
I read it.
I didn't read it, but I think they did.
Okay, so issue 2 does. You mentioned a media guy. Issue 2 has. I got a buddy. He is a self-proclaimed weatherman. With a little bit of comedy.
Yeah, I
And
saw that.
he's just because he is that persona and he actually does do these videos for that, I'm like, I need some kind of media guy in the book for a specific reason. And
Yeah.
I told him about it and he was like, yeah, I'm down, So it just, for him, it made it easy because even with the dialogue, I put the dialogue that how he would normally talk. That's how I made his dialogue. I even ran it by him. I was like, look, I wrote this, is this how you normally would have said? Because I think you would. He was like, just change these 2 words around and you're good. And I was like, all right, that's
Okay.
See, and that's cool because that makes
Yeah,
the whole thing
because he
like
has a catchphrase too, and I wanted to make sure I captured that catchphrase in there.
Right.
that makes it better because it gives it that organic feel, like everything
Yeah.
is just a
So,
natural thing.
do you have
Yeah.
what's your? I know you have the episode 3 coming out, or when is?
It's already out.
Okay.
Unfortunately, I haven't been able to do many cons because of the current situation, but
Right.
um,
Yeah.
you know, Ray ordered one on the website. I got my website up and running finally for that reason because I want to. I got to think outside the box, man. I got to make some money regardless
Oh, yeah.
this year.
Yeah.
It's my 3rd year, so I got to show some kind of profit, because you're never going to make profit in the first couple of years, and I'm already headed in that direction where I'm going to make a profit. And I was
Oh,
like, you know what? I got to start setting this up. So I set up my online store,
Oh yeah. The
and
digital comics. That's. I
yeah.
mean, that's.
Yeah. And even with that, though, the beauty about that, I was thinking to myself, I was like, I'm thinking longevity.
Mhm.
So I was like, I need to rebrand in a sense, So I'm rolling with my publishing company called Troublesome Comics because I'm gonna have multiple titles on there. And it all the way I started creating, it all started with me as a rapper named Troublesome. And that's what I'm rolling with, Troublesome Comic, because that's where all my creative outlets began. It all stemmed from there, and it just branched out. So that's what I'm rolling with, man. And I'm just like, and everybody's like, I ran it by everybody, and they're like, you know what? Yeah, that's you. Then I was like, yeah, okay, cool. So I got the green light, and I'm running with it.
So
we
do
can
you
tell.
have?
We can see your hat when the hat says
Yeah.
Trouble was back.
Yeah.
The whole time I'm like,
Yeah.
is he selling that? Is that a part of a bigger picture? But now we see it is. I like.
Man, I'll tell you one thing. Anytime you want to promote, you yourself can be a walking billboard. And I make it a point to wear T-shirts, hats, my bracelets, anything, because people remember you. I have people that come up to me, oh man, yeah, I know about you, man. And it's like they never
That's a
talk
dope.
to me until a certain point, and it's like, they've been silently following me all along, and they know who I am because I'm a walking billboard, man. And it's
That's where
beautiful.
we're hoping to get.
Yeah.
Like I was telling Domingo, like that'd be dope. Just walking and all of a sudden somebody recognizes you. You don't know, like that. That seems like it'd be a dope thing.
The weirdest thing that you know, I'm a real humble dude, so it feels weird when someone just comes up to me that I've never met in person, you know, and they follow me online and they're like, "Yo, man," they're excited, you know, and it's just like,
Right.
you know, I'm a normal person, so I don't really, you know, it's weird when they approach me that way, like if they're starstruck and it's like, "Yo,
Right.
man, you mind if can we take a picture?" You know, and I'm like, "Yeah, man, we could take a picture, you know, whatever, man." It's just I had that happen at the comic shop, you know, uh, I had this guy had already got my book before, and he'd been following me online, and he caught me in the store, and I didn't know who he was, and then we started talking, and then I was like, "Oh, I know the tag his tag name, you know," and we started talking. The dude was so excited, and that feeling right there is just like, man, I'm doing something right, you know. So I got to keep this moving.
That's
You
awesome.
know, it's to the point now where I'll visit some of the towns I've already gone to, and I already have a fan base there. So they're already
Wow.
anticipating, you know, hey man, when's that next issue? You got that new issue out? And I'm like, and I'm here, I got it, you know, and they're ready to buy already, man. So it's a beautiful thing, man. I've been building, you know, and it's
Little at a time.
yeah, a little at a time. You know, you want it to go fast, but nah, just enjoy every minute
Yeah.
of it just going, you know, and I feel like I'm ready now to probably even go the Kickstarter route to do a little bit of crowdfunding in because
Wow.
you know I think I could fund pretty quickly just with just given the people that have already you know been supporting, you know, and I just keep promoting the way every way that I can. I'm gonna keep promoting, you know, and I got a lot of people that they just support, man. You know, even like you guys just doing this podcast, you know, it may not be a big deal to a lot of people, but you know what? It's gonna help and it's gonna people are gonna see it, you know. And
Here first.
you know, and it's just one
Yeah.
of those things like, man, I mean, everyone that does their part, I'm like, yeah, yeah, you know, I'm down to help anybody and everybody. You know, that's the beauty about just the you know, this industry in general. Honestly, just you know, geeks and nerds in general, man. They're really they're that the culture. You know, they actually do support. I'm coming from a culture, you know, with the music, there is no support. There's just a bunch of backstabbing and just you know,
Man.
nobody wants to help anybody at all. You know, it's all what can you do for them, and that's it. With this stuff, the comic stuff, man, I've had so many people want to help and they ask for nothing in return, you know. And I'm
Wow.
like, dude, like I can't just do that. What can I do for you, you know? And sometimes it's simple as just sharing their work and just be like, yo, you need to help my man right here and just get him, you know, get him to do some commissions for you or something, you know, like that's
Yeah.
how right now, that's how, you know, like me, Michael Fox, and then Caleb Mendez,
I
you
was
know,
I
just
was
about to
fixing to bring
mention
that
him, man.
up. Yeah, I was just going to say, since
we're
we had
all
Michael on the show, you was talking about that. Y'all just kind of connected and hooked up and did, y'all
yeah,
exchanged some
man.
ideas. And he was saying he was showing some art he did for you. Then he was telling
Yeah.
us for his comic, you kind of gave him the idea for the red bubbles
Yeah.
on the one
Yeah.
character. And
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
man. I
it's
showing
mean,
us
crazy.
the deaf character and how she was holding the comic of
yeah,
Trouble. What Trouble
Yeah,
yeah,
that comic that
yeah.
was
yeah.
dope. That was
Yeah.
dope.
It's funny.
Fact that stuff like that goes down. That's awesome.
So since you mentioned, since you got down that road, wanted to, uh, I do want to go down more further because
Yeah.
I do want to ask you because I heard that y'all have a collaboration coming up.
Yes, yes, we
And,
do.
and I wanted to get on that, but I wanted to uh, talk a little bit more about just hint, a little bit more about your troubles back. And
Yeah.
do you have for the future? Do you already have some um, characters lined up? Like as far as that you're wanting to get in? Like do you have like in your world like bad guys you want to eventually bring in? Are you
So
going?
so
Uh,
right now, you know, the villains themselves is kind of what you've seen through issue 2 already.
mhm.
Um uh, yet as you saw there is a mystery one obviously, you
Yeah,
know.
he's like the head honcho, right?
It's not going to be what
Wait, see.
what you're thinking or expecting, you know. I will say that, but
Look at Tyler
it's
trying to get
it's
spoilers.
always the
I'm
thing with
trying
me,
to
it's always going to be
trying to reel it
bigger.
in, you know, like
It's always going to be bigger than what you think, you know.
listen.
Like
Yeah.
like you think you know, but you don't know,
But you
you
don't.
know.
Gonna be
It,
this little tiny dude with one arm with a big arm.
see see the thing is right now, the Hive, the beauty about how I included the Hive is actually the comic shop in Odessa. So I wanted to include them, and what better way than to kind of treat them as like a record label? You
Okay.
know,
I
they're
was wondering. I was
th-
wondering where you got that. I thought
yeah,
it was kind of more, like in the comics, like with the Hive,
yeah.
my,
And it
Hive
is just,
Corporation.
I put them in there because it's one of those things, they've been so supportive that I wanted to find a way to say thanks, but not just by saying thanks. I wanted to do something bigger, so I included them in the book. And man, it's been lovely, man. It's been so lovely. Now they're under new ownership now, and so I'm still rolling with the old owners in the book. But not to give anything away, but you never know
Right.
that new owner might pop up in there, in the story somehow.
Oh,
I
well,
like that because that's like a different. You can the way that you're doing it is it's cool because it's like each issue can just be like be like how they have like a bad guy of the week on a different show. You can
Yeah.
have like a villain of the issue or a different issue. You can really keep this
It's,
going
it's
because you got
completely organic, yeah.
all those villains in issue 2, and then the people that you see on a normal basis. You can just kind of keep it going. That's dope, man.
so one last question.
Okay.
Uh, what about the, like the heroes?
Yep.
Like, do you have like a plan, like to bring like some of the like known rappers, like a version of them, like that, like the greats, like the
Legends.
yeah, like the legends.
Now, when you say legends, you talking about legends here in the city or legends in general?
In general, like
Ooh, ooh, that's wow.
in the
I
rap
see
game.
that. Ooh,
No,
that's good.
I really don't, because it's one of those things, like, unless I personally knew them, I'd bring them in with their
Right.
permission, of course. I don't want to get involved with any copyright infringement and anything like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I see.
So not really, So, but I've thought about putting some rappers that are currently here, but you know what? I mean, it's one of those things.
Maybe if they reached out to you.
Not even that. It would have to happen organically.
Okay.
Something would have to spark the idea to actually happen.
Because you're
I have,
going off of your life and your
yeah,
like
I'm
how
going off
you
of my life. But
gotcha.
here's the beauty about it. I know what my end game is, but in between there, every day, whatever's happening today, um, I'm thinking I'm going one direction, but something could happen tomorrow that could trigger a different direction to go with it. And that's been the unique aspect of my writing and ideas, because if I let life dictate the direction, it's going to be a lot better, because I've
Yep.
changed stories so many times because something else happened, and I'm like, you know what, this is much better, and this is the direction to roll with. So I'm letting it write itself, in a sense. Life is writing it, right now.
Right.
And it's the life of trouble, right? Just the
Yeah.
like his story. So that's dope. Either way, that
Yeah.
it jumped. That's his story. So
It's a
one day
free,
he could be here fighting some rappers. The next day he could be, in New Zealand, what I'm saying, beating up on some singers. Who knows? I don't know. That's dope.
yeah,
That's
it's a
still
free
dope.
flowing. It's like it's a free flowing story. Like it's
Yep.
it's kind of what you would want, even like in I say like even a TV series or
Yeah.
Something like that. That would be that's awesome. You just kind of taking it day by
And
day.
the beauty of it is I don't know what's going to happen in between the end game, So anything is game, and that makes it fun for me, because you just never know, like,
Speaking of, I like your segues right now because I got a surprise for everybody.
Yeah,
Oh,
Everybody.
Everybody.
pretty much,
Right now. Coming at you.
is that? Oh, look at this
Oh.
guy.
Speaking of a collaboration, I think we
Yeah.
just need to have y'all both in the thing.
Yeah.
That is what I'm talking about. Oh,
If he can get his audio
Is
together.
that the Fox?
He's
It's the Fox.
He's connecting his audio.
It's the Fox.
So I figured if we're going to talk about your collaboration, we need to get y'all both on.
Yeah.
Surprise.
Oh,
That pie.
Man, look at that.
That's what he would do. He would go,
Daddy D the Mingo, Charlie the Snake, got the Hammer in the building, Mr. Troublesome himself.
What
look
up?
at that.
What?
The whole crew here getting nerdy today.
Yeah.
yeah.
What up? How's everybody doing, man? I hear y'all talking to my boy Trouble's Back. Trouble's Back comics.
Yeah.
Man, what y'all know about Troublesome, man? 3 issues deep, publishing company coming.
Shit.
Man.
So what's this collaboration about? Talk to us.
Oh man, this collaboration is gonna be deep. You got my boy Caleb, aka Coda the Mendez, is gonna be collaborating with myself, written by the great and powerful Troublesome Joey, CEO of Troublesome Comics.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I saw the picture of the three of y'all sitting at the table, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be good stuff, man. Once that script comes out, it's gonna be fire, man. It's gonna be really good.
So what's
looking for that? It'll be another issue underneath the publishing company.
So what is this one is going to be about?
I like how Mike is like the hype man / promoter / he's on a commercial. Check this out
now.
You
gotta take care of your own people, man.
Yeah,
if we don't take care of each other, who will?
I love it, man.
Yeah, just like I was saying, man. This industry, man. You know,
we can let Mr. Troublesome tell everybody about the cubicle wars coming up.
Yeah, man. Let me ask you guys this: when y'all hear the term cubicle wars, what do y'all think?
I think kind of like The Office.
I was going to say that sounds like an episode of The Office to be 100%.
Yeah. Like just cubicles set up.
Yeah, it sounds like if I'm okay, I'm gonna try to figure it out. If we're talking about Trouble, we're talking about the music industry. It's kind of like the corporate world versus.
I think this is a different
rapping world.
I think this is a different.
That's not it.
Here's the beauty about cubicle wars. You know, I'm gonna prove to the world that I'm no one-trick pony. You know, this story does not even tie with. You know, it does not tie with Trouble's Back. It does not even have me as a character.
It's its own separate.
It's its own It's its own separate. You know, it's its own separate story. And man, it's one of those things that, you know, I know that you guys are going to be able to relate to it because y'all work, you know. I mean, we all work, you know. Right. And in one aspect of it, we've dealt with things on the job, and you know, man, I want to tell y'all so many details about it, but man, I will say this: there would be a lot of conflict. There would be a lot of conflict, but it does follow a character. It follows a character, but you know, he's a recent grad. You know, recent college grad, lands his dream job, he thinks, but it's not going to be what he think. Well, it's not going to be what he really thinks it really is, you know. And we're just going to follow him on that journey, you know. And once this issue 1 drops, you're going to understand more of the direction that it's going to go. It's going to build some more. I know once I see that Michael Fox art, it's going to trigger some more ideas, you know, because like his art style, you know, it's perfect for this book because it's going to add a lot of value to the story in the sense that there's going to be some comedic factors to it, but then there's also going to be some really serious, and either one, it fits, you know. But then we throw in a twist in there, and we have Caleb Mendez, you know. We're going to have 2 art styles in this book, you know.
Nice.
I really can't say how that's going to work. We know how it's going to work, but I want everybody to be mind blown by it because, you know, it's going to be one of those things is you see it, you're going to be addicted. Like, it's going to be like, when's the next one come out? When's the next one come out?
Yeah.
You know, like, yeah. Like this could, like, I wish that I wish. What was that?
What was that?
I don't know.
I think Mike, did we lose him?
I think he loses.
Oh, I think it might be Mike.
Yeah, he looks frozen right there.
Yeah. So, but this comic y'all working on, it's gonna be available on the website, right? Whenever
it's gonna be available on the website. It's gonna be available at the Hive. It's gonna be available near you guys. Once I can get on a Comic-Con near you guys or something, you know, like, I mean, I'm no stranger to travel, you know. So
okay.
Speaking of,
So I got a
Yeah.
question. So we talking about art styles. What would you say your art style is, or who did you get your most inspiration as far as like how you draw? If
Well, see, here's the funny thing about that. I can't really draw, so I freelance the artwork, to
oh,
like
that's dope.
Trouble's back. I had to figure out how can I find someone within my budget.
Yeah.
And that was really, I found an artist. My buddy Eric, he does a comic called Blood of Gods, and he was the one that gave me direction on how to find an artist. Well, I found an artist on Facebook. Found an artist on Facebook, and they ended up being, from the Philippines.
Wow.
And I got lucky because the one thing that went right was our U.S. dollars is worth something in the Philippines. So
Have you
so
ever did you check out Fiverr?
I did, but it's hit or miss on that. Because you don't really, with my artists, I could debug the shit out of them on Facebook. I could just keep blowing his message up. With Fiverr,
Hey
they
you.
can ignore that all day.
Right.
So I mean, and plus there's more of a free form communication off of Facebook. Where Fever, it's just, man, I don't know, man.
Yeah.
I've gotten some work done on there, and honestly, I got some clip art back. It wasn't even drawn; it was just clip art. It's
Ah,
something
that's
I
Oh
could have did,
man.
Yeah, they
Now,
ain't trying.
okay.
so
Yeah.
I don't trust it. I don't trust trying to find an artist on there anymore.
Yeah, I can see that.
I mean,
So,
good. If something sounds too good to be true, it is,
Probably is. Yeah.
Right.
and there's a lot of that there.
but
Yeah, we
that's
lost
still
Mike.
amazing that you can do that, because that can be a little hard. You have, because myself as a dancer, yeah, people, I do that. I know when I have someone like creating music, like I've learned how to like cut music myself. But I remember the days where I have to tell the person, okay, this is how I'm thinking in the beat, or this is why I want it to drop. I want it to change here and change here. And unless that person understands you or vibes with you, it can come out a hot mess. So it's good that you're able to find a freelancer, to someone that you can tell the story, tell them how you want it molded, and they'll say, you know what, boom, 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 draw, bam, bam, check it out, and it works out, man. That's amazing.
And
That's
see
awesome.
that the way that I communicate with him is, as far as like what I want, I just get as descriptive as possible with on the script. The script is basically describing what I want in each panel in each box. And I just describe it as much and as best as possible. And if I have to, I'll provide a reference, I'll Google images, something, just so he has something to go by. And it works, man. Like like when I saw his art style, I knew he was the one, because not only could he draw, he colored as well, because a lot of times when you do books, you got to separate those you got to separate those services. You got to find one person to draw it, you got to find another person to ink it, you got to find another person to color it,
Oh
and you got to
wow.
find another person to letter it. Like, it gets expensive. So
Boxes.
I
I
didn't know all
found,
that.
yeah, like, because I mean, if you next time you pick up a book, look to see, and you'll see colorists, you'll see an artist, it'll all listed out who
Wow.
did what, and it's
I
amazing.
never even thought to look at that.
Yeah, man. I mean, it could get really expensive. I got lucky that not only is he affordable with the quality, he does two services that saves me a lot of money and time.
That's
So what ends up happening there is I took care of the rest. I already wrote it, so since I wrote it, I'm like, what, I'll figure out how to letter it. So I
Y'all
figured out
are,
how to letter it, and I put it all together after I get the artwork back,
you
you
know,
know.
Joey, this is actually talking to you, man. Like, I'm getting excited because and Mingo and the Marine knows about
awesome.
I have a story that I would really like to get out. Like, I'd like to talk to both y'all, you and Mike, if y'all wanted down for another
There's
comic
still
whenever y'all are ready.
Yeah,
still
man.
some copyright issues on that one though.
Yeah,
I'm
okay, yeah, that is, yeah,
It's,
yeah,
well, you know
might
what?
want to keep that personal.
yeah.
There's ways around that if you're down to change things to get away from that.
Well, with this one, with this, it's you would probably need to get some approvals,
Okay.
or it's just because of how the story
Yeah.
the world of the story.
Mhm.
Um, I can tell you basically, you've seen the movie Last Action Hero.
Yep.
The golden ticket.
Yep.
It's within that world, but somebody else gets the ticket, and then the other person is me, and what I do with the ticket.
Now,
That storyline. So
would you be using some of those other characters that are already in it?
no, nothing from the movie. I mean, the basically what we talked about is like it takes place in the world uh, of that, and the same thing is just like the ticket blows away, and basically
Yeah.
I find it later, and
Yeah.
then I everything that I know and do, I do with the ticket, and I
Yeah.
go along with that. It's just where I go.
Yeah.
It's a lot of places, a lot of different movies, and it it's a lot, and you would probably need a lot of copyright. So
You,
that
the,
might take some time to do.
the beauty about that though is I would not be scared to make everything. I don't want to say parody names, but kind
Mhm.
of parody names where you know what you're talking about, but you're not
Right.
using the exact name,
Okay.
and and
I'd
that's
have
how
to
you.
sit down. I'd actually like to next time I can sit down with you and Mike and like go over everything. I
Yeah.
told Mike a little bit about it.
Yeah.
Because I kind of wanted him to draw what the character would look like.
Yeah,
But yeah, I
yeah,
definitely want to sit down with you and talk to you about it, see, get y'all's ideas and opinions.
I
Yeah,
mean,
Go ahead
maybe
and be
down the
like, Day, time for another Odessa road trip. Go ahead.
road.
but you
We
know
just
what,
got
man?
back.
You know, one thing I'll tell anybody and everybody: don't let something be a roadblock. Find a way around it. I think if we talk and seriously talk, I think we could find a way around it where you could still do your story and get away from having to worry about the copyright stuff. They do it on TV all the time where
Mhm.
what they're referencing in a sense, but
They
they're
never
not using
mentioned it
actual
again.
names and everything, and
Okay.
that's how you get around that, without having to worry about any issues.
Yep.
Okay. It might work in certain areas. Like I'd have to tell you
Yeah.
for you to understand. I'm trying not to. I don't
No,
want to
no,
let it out to the world
no,
yet.
I understand. I understand.
So,
Another time, another day, but definitely, man. I mean, I just want you to know that there's we can figure out a way to make it all happen without having to go to all this rigmarole trying to get everything proper. We can
right.
actually knock that obstacle down and move on.
Dope.
Okay. Yeah, we'll definitely have to talk about that.
So
So,
Might have had a little piece
did-
of history right there. Might just had a beginning of something special right there. Watch
yes,
out.
sir.
magical. Uh, did y'all have any more questions y'all want to ask? I know I kind of asked a lot.
Oh, no, that was
No, it's
that was
good,
good.
man. I'm just glad. I was gonna let y'all go. Like I said, man, I've been doing this, man, for this young man for a long time. I say that
Show the
because
comics.
ain't nobody
Got the
getting
physical
younger.
one.
But no,
Show
I'm
physical
excited
comics.
for it, man. As soon as I got the copy, I was telling you, man, I got the copies. I got to read them. I read them like that day.
Yeah.
I was
Where
like,
are the
man, this is
copies?
good.
Where are the copies, Hammer? Where are
Oh,
the
he
copies?
brought them right with him.
Don't think I don't have them, bro. Don't think I don't have them. They right here. They right here. Got 'em.
Boom! That's
In the
what it
plastic and
is.
With
everything.
the
I got 'em.
autograph. Look at that.
Yeah.
And, and,
Nice,
and
baby.
see, the cool thing about what I did with his is I gave him two versions. I gave him a newsprint version, which I'd consider the OG version because
Right.
Oh,
newsprint, you can't find too much of that nowadays.
Hey, you're
And
right.
then I gave him what I like to print on nowadays, the glossy type pages. But so he,
yeah.
he
Oh,
got
yeah.
the best of both worlds right there.
Yeah, man. Yeah. No, but I'm excited for him, man. I'm happy for this man because he's going through this process and he's getting all this stuff together and his comics already really really good. He's got the website going. He's collabing with people. It just let you know how small a world it is too.
Yeah.
The fact that I knew him and then we had Mike on and then Mike brought him up and I was like, oh, that's right. Yeah,
This
because
just shows you
I
how
don't
small
know this.
Odessa
He know me.
is.
I know him.
It shows you how small Odessa is.
You
True,
know one
true.
one thing I'll say though is, man, I've loved this whole process, man, because like like Michael and Caleb now, like I consider them like they're some of my best friends now, man. Because and it's so crazy that comics did that for us, you know. And it's crazy that you mentioned it's a small world, you know, like I knew Michael's friend, you know, and I'm pretty sure down the line somewhere I probably knew some of Caleb's friends that we didn't even know, you know, we never made that connection, you know. But dude, I mean, it's been here's the thing, man, it's been really great because man, that support's been real, man. I'll do anything for Mike will do anything for me, and Caleb as well, man. Like Caleb is the one that goes on the road with me all the time, and you know, he you know, give y'all a little tidbit of information real quick. You know, so issue 3 is out, but there's going to be a one shot that ties into it, and Caleb has his written already. He wrote, he's drawing, I may color it. I'm not sure. He may want to color it, but I mean, he's done this whole shebang. That what happens in issue 3, you're gonna get to see his perspective, but also how he became who he is. You know, because I don't know about you guys, but I like a tie-in every now and then. You know, I don't want it to be crazy. You know, like so many tie-ins through a series, but every now and then there may be an issue or two here and there, and I'm just like, you know what, man, this guy's been down with me so much. I'm like, you know, man, let's do that one shot. Let's show people how you were created in a sense, you know, how you became who you are, and then how we tie you into the story. You know, I mean, I show a lot of love, and sometimes like just putting people in a book, you know, it grows from there. It just grows and grows, you know. And nowadays it's just, man, if I could do this full time, man, I could do a lot more. Right now, I work and then I'm doing this, you know, and I'm still making it happen, you know. But man, I know that if this thing ever blows up, man,
you're on your way.
We're gonna do something big if it ever blows up. If not, I'm happy with just creating, because at the end of the day, creating is my therapy. You know, that's how I keep from going crazy, and I get to escape reality from create. You know, if I want something to happen, I'll put it in the book. You know,
See, that's
it's kind of like playing GTA. You know, you want to run over somebody, or you want to murder somebody, and
turn on the game.
You know, just do it in the game. You know, keep it safe. Just, you know, keep it in the game. You know,
it's actually a good feeling too when you get put into a book. Like, I know that I talked to them. One of my friends, he actually wrote a book, and it was a while back. He wrote it, he got it published and everything. It's not a comic. I did talk to him whenever Mike started drawing again and everything, and I was like, man, that'd be dope to make that book into a comic. And he approved it. He said that he's down. I just need to get with Michael and see what it's about. But he wrote. I'm in the book. Actually has my name in it and everything.
Think somebody should be on the show. Yep.
So
he should be on the show. He has to be on the show now. Yep.
Yeah, I can get a hold of him. He it's called the Stand Strong Crew, but we all got all these. It was like back when Heroes came out, and he made a book. All of us. It was pretty dope, man. Like I got all these powers, and I actually had like a backstory for me, like tied in. It was like it was dope, man. Like I'll get you a copy to where you can read it.
Already.
But crap. I know we've been on it for a long time. How much time do you have, Joey?
Man, I got time. You know,
you want to sit with us through the rest of the show?
Sure, man. Sure, I'll sit.
Okay, cool.
Talk nerdy to me.